Shalom. This is Shalom from the Great Millstone, Atlanta camp, coming back at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai with another quick lesson. Lord's willing is edifying. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rahakudash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. And I want to start out with this Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. By the way, the title of this lesson is "The Lands Must Be Cleansed by Fire." And that land, we're talking about America because of what happened here on this soil. What happened here within these American borders was terrible as far as the Israelites. And not just the southern tribes, but all 12 tribes were enslaved at some point between North America, South America, and also other parts of the earth. But the main punishment and bloodshed happened here on American soil. So I want to read this Numbers 35 and 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." So basically, the one that shed the blood here, their blood has to be shed in order for the land to be cleansed. And you know Esau is not going to go down like that. He has all power on the earth right now as far as weaponry, nuclear bombs, everything. He has control of everything. So he's going to go down fighting. That's why this land has to be cleansed with fire, which is going to be the nuclear destruction. And America was basically set up just to house the Israelites and to be a land of punishment until the end. And after that, it has to be destroyed. So it's really no cleansing this land by the blood of the enemy, which is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man today. The land cannot be cleansed by his blood. It has to be cleansed by his blood and fire. And fire is a cleansing agent. That's how you get the dross out of gold when you go to purify gold. And that's why that's also why the scriptures talk about how the elect has to go through the fire. They have to be cleansed as gold. All right. Most High call us men the pure gold. Okay. Let me get something else in Ezekiel. I want to say 35. Yeah, I know it's in 35. It may be verse 10. No, it's at the top. Verse 6. Ezekiel 35 and 6. And this whole chapter is talking about Esau, Edom, which is Edom, which is Mount Seir, which is Idumea, just different ways of saying Esau, Edom. Idumea is Greek for Edom, and Seir, I believe, is Greek. It means hair. And of course, you know, Esau came out hairy, as the scriptures describe him. That's why Mount Seir was called Mount Seir. All right. So I'm going to start with Ezekiel 35 and 6. It says, "Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passes out and him that returneth." So no one is going to come here after this place is destroyed. It's going to be a desolate wilderness. As a matter of fact, let's go to Joel 2. Joel chapter 2, and I believe it's verse 3. Yep. It says, "A fire devoured before them." This is talking about the nuclear missiles. "A fire devoured before them," because that's where the warhead's at. When you look at how a missile is put together, it has the rocket on the back and the warhead on the front. The rocket actually pushes the warhead. All right. So a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. And that's the rockets that's pushing it through the air. It says, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Because once this place get hit, it's going to be nothing but like a desert with ash. It says the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, it's, also it says, yea, and nothing shall escape them. It's no escaping. It's no bunker. You can't dig deep enough into the earth. This place is going to get hit by millions of missiles. Almost every missile on the planet is going to destroy America. Other places are going to get hit. America is going to take probably about 99% of the missiles here. And let's go now to this is the main point, Revelations chapter 12. And I'm going to read because to get an understanding, because Revelations 12 kind of jump around a little bit. It talks about Mary giving birth to Yahushua. It talks about 70 AD. And it talks about the time that we're in now, or the time that we just came out of, which ended in 1969 when the truth was brought to Elder Abba Bivens. All right. Now, this is Revelations 12 and verse 1. It says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So I'm going to read this backwards. The 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of Israel. It says she was clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. That's talking about the sun represents wisdom, the moon represents knowledge, and the woman is Israel. All right, but it's gonna keep talking about the woman as we go down, and that's talking about Mary. All right, verse 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Now, of course, we know that's the same 7 heads and 10 horns talked about in Revelation 17, which is NATO and the EU. All right, and you know the one horn that came out is America. It describes that in Daniel chapter 7 and chapter 8. It says, and his tail. So basically, the red dragon is Esau Edom because he's the ruler of the European nations. And it says his tail. So it's talking about the dragon, and then it's talking about his tail. His tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. All right. So you got 12 stars, which is 12 tribes of Israel. A third would be 3 of the stars, 4 of the stars, or 3. So you got Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, which are the southern tribes. Those are the tribes that was taken from West Africa and brought over. So that was 1619, and that was when we completely lost our identity, who we were, who our power is. We completely lost everything when we was taken and brought over to America. And also us that was already over here in America, everything changed. And I'm talking about the northern tribes. Gad was over here, and he was pretty much almost completely extinct. It went from around, I believe it was 90 million Native Americans down to 9 million now. So Esau Edom did a number on all the tribes. But this particular verse, it talks about the third. I'm going to read it again, verse 4. His tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, that's talking about Mary, and it's talking about Herod when he wanted to kill all the children, I believe, under the age of 2. So Yahushua had to flee to Egypt and hide out until it was clear for him to come back. It says, and she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. It's talking about Yahushua. And her child was caught up unto the Most High, to his throne. All right. Now, this is the main point, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness. All right. Now, that's talking about, look, we're going into 70 AD when the Roman soldiers came and invaded Jerusalem. And then all the southern tribes had to flee. Some went up in Europe, some went into the mountains of Africa, and some fled into West Africa. Most fled into West Africa. That's why our people are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth today, because the Lord pretty much dispersed us into our enemy's land. Okay, it says, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of the Most High, that they should feed her there 1,263 days. All right, so that woman, this is talking about Israel, fled into the wilderness. Now, this is talking about America, where it says a place prepared. And now we're talking about going back to America being pretty much a concentration camp, a prison for the Israelites. It says that they should feed her there 1,203 days. Now, when you do the math on that, that turns out to pretty much three and a half years, which goes in hand with the 350-year prophecy. It's not 3.5 years, it's actually 350 years. Now, that 350-year period started in 1619 and it ended in 1969 when we began to stand upon our feet as the dry bones that's mentioned in Revelations 11 when you go back a chapter. All right. So just the main point, this is talking about America. We was just supposed to be here a little while, and then this place is going to be completely destroyed. Let's go now to Revelations 18, and I'm going to get the last verse, 23 and 24. Actually, 24. It's talking about Babylon the Great, which is America again. It says, and there was found, verse 24, and in her was found the blood of the prophets and of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth. That's why this place has to be destroyed, because it's filled with the blood of the saints and the prophets, which are the Israelites. All right. So when you see how, the Lord, how beautiful he made this place, that was really for why Gad was here. Once Esau came over and started rebuilding everything and bringing everybody else over, that's when America started going down. He killed off all the buffalo. He migrated certain animals here, certain plants. Deer was brought down to the southern parts. Now it's a lot of deer around. You see them on the side of the road dead. They don't even supposed to be around here. We're supposed to have buffalo everywhere. But he wanted to starve out Gad, Native Americans. So what he do? He killed off all the buffalo. Like, this dude is really, Esau's the devil. He's the devil. It shouldn't even be a thought of, why would you call him that? No, this man is the devil. All right. Let's go to Isaiah 14 and verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. Why? Because he's gonna take over. Once you give Esau an inch, he's gonna take a mile, and he's gonna run with it. Just like the Lord gave him the authority and the power to punish the Israelites, and he went way too far. The scriptures say he forwarded the affliction. So the angel that was speaking, they said the Lord was sore displeased at the heathen because he went way too far with the punishment. Now he don't want to let go his power, to the point where even when Yahweh shall return, he's going to try and fight Yahweh Shai. All right. So yeah, America was set up to be destroyed. This place has to be cleansed by fire. And that's pretty much the main point I wanted to make. So I pray this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahakudash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us his truth. Shalom to the elect.